Hi all, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another crafting tutorial. And in this one today we are going to build a massive Space Hulk for Kill Team, or Space Hulk, or Star Wars Legion. And I'm actually going to be using that as well for Necromunda. Check this out. You see? Now that's what we're going to be building, and I'm also going to expand and elaborate on this in future videos, but for now this is a good start to play some Kill Team Space Hulk. So I would say without further ado guys, follow me to the crafting table and let's do this! Come on!
Alright my friends, let's build some tiles for our Space Hulk. Now make as many tiles as you want to, which are 17 centimeters by 17 centimeters. Now I'm going to build a lot of these tiles. Now I'm using foam board here, 5mm thick foam board, but you can use cardboard as well for this guy, so no worries if you don't have foam board, use cardboard, works just as well. Now I'm going to proceed by cutting all these tiles out. All of them, which are a lot. Now we're going to make some walls. Now per tile you will need 4 walls, 2 walls that are 16 centimeters long and 2 that are 7 centimeters long, and all walls are 5 centimeters high. But it is important that you do two 16 centimeter long walls and 2 17 centimeter long walls. And then start by drawing them in and cutting them all out. You will need 4 walls per room, of course. 2 16, 2 17. So cut them all out. Depending on how many tiles you're gonna make, you're gonna need a lot of walls. So it is a rather process that takes a long time to build this, but yeah, it is fun to do. Now measure these walls against your tiles. So begin with the 17 centimeter wall, and with that we're gonna attach the 16 centimeter wall. Dry fit first. Now make yourself some foam board measuring sticks that is 1 centimeter wide. Make it long enough. You will see later why I do this. So this will be my measuring stick, which is 1 centimeter wide. My measuring stick. Now I'm gonna put this at the side of my tiles, and I'm gonna trace it on all 4 corners of the tile, all 4 sides, like so. And do that for all your tiles. And you will end up with a 15 centimeter square in the middle. And now we can make a 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter grid at the center, like this. So you will have 3 times 5 centimeter squares on both sides. I hope my explanation is clear enough. If not, just watch the screen. Now we're gonna draw some lines, like so, straight lines. You don't have to cross them, but now I'm gonna use drywall mesh tape, and which is a little under 5 centimeters wide, and stick this on the tiles opposite of the lines you just drew, as you see me do here. And be sure to stick that on the inner square, like this. And we're gonna stick on 3 strips of mesh tape on our square, on our tile, running opposite of the lines I just drew. Like so. Now we're gonna score a 5 by 5 centimeter grid with our X-Acto blade, and then rescore the cuts we just made with a pen or a poking tool, whichever you have at hand. Basically what I'm doing here is the same as with my Necromunda tiles, just creating a grid on my tiles. Now this poking device, I'm gonna trace all these lines, and it will end up looking like this. Now I'm gonna start by poking in some rivets. You don't have to do this, it just adds a little bit more flavor to the tile. Now on another note, if you're gonna make these tiles, you can also, if you don't want to do a Space Hulk, you can do that just as easily to create a D&D dungeon. Same principle, except you don't need mesh tape for grids. Now as you can see, I have a lot of tiles here. This one I added a little detail, don't have to do it again. Now I'm gonna make some doors, so we're gonna measure the halfway point, and we're gonna measure 2 centimeters from the halfway point in each direction, and then we're gonna measure 4 centimeters up. Connect the line upstairs, and then 1 centimeter dots here, so we're gonna connect these dots like so. And that was my camera that went down. Now we're gonna cut out these doors. Just cut out as many doors as you need. Now do this for both the 16 centimeter wall and the 17 centimeter wall, but you can use a template once you have one to do the doors on all the other wall parts. And begin by cutting these out as well. And here is my stack so far. That is why this video took a long time, because I don't have hours and hours a day to spend on crafting. So now I'm going to use corrugated paper for the walls, which is fairly cheap. And I'm going to cover the back of the paper with PVA glue, and I'm going to attach all my walls to it. Just makes it easier to cut them out instead of doing it one by one, which will take forever. So just coat the back of the sheet with PVA glue and stick down your walls. Just as a quick note though, I am doing only one side of my walls with this paper. Now cut them out once they are dry, and then start by cutting out your doors as well, like so. Now let's glue some details on the tiles. I have these, I don't know what the hell they are, but they look cool. I'm going to use these as some type of banding rivet at the center of my squares on every tile. I said it is a long project, this one, guys, but once you've done, you have a huge Space Hulk. Now to glue the walls, first I glue the 7 centimeter wall, then add the 16 centimeter wall against it and cap it off with the second 7 centimeter wall to finish the boxed room, like so. I lay the templates in front of me to measure, to make sure I don't make any mistakes while gluing the walls on the tiles, because this is rather important if you want them to match up. So basically we're going to create a box that sits around our tile. So just put hot glue on it, and yeah, now you can start by forming your rooms, which means you can make a fully closed room, or you can make a 3-walled room, a 1-walled room, a 2-walled room with doors, whichever way you prefer. Now we'll also make tiles, as I said, that only have 2 walls and 1 wall, no walls. This is to create interesting and bigger areas, but of course this is optional, guys, so feel free to build this however you see fit. Now this is a 2 entrance room, but you can also glue inner walls and crevices if you prefer. Now let's make some features for our walls. Measure 5 centimeter high foam board piece, which is 2 centimeter wide, and mark out the halfway point and draw a line. And then mark out 2 centimeter from the bottom. So first we have the 2 centimeter, and we're going to draw a line at the middle, 1 centimeter, like so. And as you see, we have 2 pieces that are 1 centimeter. Now I'm going to measure 2 centimeters up, like this, from the bottom. Now I'm gonna draw a line like this, as you see, and I'm gonna cut that piece out, and I'm gonna use this as a template to create many of these. Now I'm gonna use 8 of these per room actually. So start by drawing as many as you have, as many as you can, and you need 8 per room, which has 4 walls. If you only have 2 walls, you will need 4, etc. Now on the 7 centimeter wall, measure from each side 4 centimeters towards the middle to glue the supports. On the 16 centimeter wall, measure 3.5 centimeters towards the middle. As you see me do here. Just to create some interesting shapes on our walls. Now hot glue them in your room and it will look like this. Now I begin to glue in paper drinking straws and wooden blocks and whatever I can get my hands on to create some details in my room, in my Space Hulk room. Just go nuts with this. There's no right or wrong way. Just stick in details and have fun. Be creative. And if you don't have paper drinking straws, use whatever you guys have. Roll up pieces of paper to create pipes. Whatever you see fit. Here another one of my classic coffee lids, which I will use as a fan. I love these coffee lids, they are amazing. Now I'm gonna put a huge dollop of hot glue, stick that down next to the wall part. Your imagination is the limit when building these things. Clear away the wisps. Now sticking on some mesh tape for some more details, and again more drinking straws. More wooden blocks. Go nuts, guys. And those who are sticking out, just cut them off with your knife. Here you can see 2 rooms that are aligned with the entrances joining each other. You see, you can walk straight through them. In later videos I will be creating wall parts and which you can stick inside of your rooms to create elaborate corridors and stuff, but that's for a future video. Otherwise this one would run in for a long time. Now do all the rest of your walls and your rooms, and I am happy with this result. This is just the basic stuff. So, and here you can see I'm holding a door, so we're gonna make these cardstock doors. So draw many rectangles that are 5.5 centimeters high and 4 centimeters wide, and cut them all out. 5.5 centimeters high, 4 centimeters wide. Just cardstock, guys. Cereal box. Now draw and score details on the doors if you want. This will add a nice result once it's painted, but you don't have to do it because later on in hindsight it really wasn't necessary, and I end up drawing the details in there by myself. So but it works. So here we have a door. Now I use my X-Acto blade and I'm gonna cut through the top part of the wall above the door, make it 4.5 centimeters wide, and it will fit your door like so. Look, you can pop it in and slide it out. Pop in your door and go slow when cutting these things because you don't want to cut through your doorway. So jab in your X-Acto blade and cut through it very slowly. Again, it is optional, but I find like having those doors, it adds a little bit to the feel. Makes it cool. And you can work with a fog of war if you prefer, so when the door is closed you can't see what's in the next room. And when the door is open, you can reveal the enemy inside, behind the wall. Now let's make some elevations. I cut polystyrene and cut 17 centimeter by 17 centimeter blocks that are 5 centimeters high. This is important. You can also build cardboard boxes, just make sure they are 5 centimeters high and 17 centimeter by 17 centimeters wide. Basically the same width as your rooms. These blocks will serve as my elevations, as you see me test out here. You can add ladders and steps in there. Now make as many as you want or need. I'm gonna start out by building 10. Now, I'm not gonna leave it as is, but first of all, clean up the mess that this thing makes, because polystyrene makes a hell of a mess. Next, I make a mixture of PVA, water and drywall compound until it gets gloopy, and then I dunk the sides in and paint the top to harden the piece of foam. As I said, just dunk those parts in the mixture. It will harden up the polystyrene hard enough so it doesn't tear away when playing it. Now I'm gonna let these dry. It's very hot today, so they dry quickly in the sun. Now this step is completely optional, guys. Alright. Now I'm gonna go around the entire side of the blocks with masking tape. And then I'm going around that masking tape with drywall mesh tape. It just creates an interesting pattern once you stack them. Now I'm gonna spray prime them all black, but you can use paint if you don't want your foam to melt, if you don't trust your mixture. Mine is good enough so I can spray paint them. Now I'm gonna add drywall mesh tape to the sides of all my tiles, all of them. And then time to paint everything up we've made so far. First spray them all black. And I'm gonna begin to spray dust white primer from a 45-degree angle all across all of my tiles. Don't forget the back. Do them all. Also with the rooms, white primer, and then roughly begin to stipple brown paint all over the tiles, also the back of the walls. Cover them entirely with brown paint. Well, not entirely, but stipple them. When that is done and they are still wet, I'm gonna redo the white prime dusting, as you see me do here. So the brown really blends into the whites of the room. And do that for all your tiles. They will look like this. I have many tiles to go. I have more than 30, so now we're gonna redo the brown stippling. I know, seems like overkill, but trust me on this, guys. Redo the brown stippling. And they look like this now, and I like it. Very run down, very ancient, and I'm gonna cover all my tiles with a black wash. Doesn't matter which wash you use, just I'm using some simple black paint with water. Now I'm gonna give the pipes a red and a black and a copper paint, and I'm gonna do this on all my tiles. But feel free to use whatever paints you prefer. I'm keeping it very simple with this, but also that it matches with my Necromunda terrain pieces, because I kind of like using this as well for Necromunda. Add these to my tiles and yeah, I can create some cool gameplays with this. Stippling again orange paint over the brown dots to create a rusty part, as you see me do here. Also do this on the back side of the wall. Create a very run-down, ancient room. Now cover the walls with a wash of Nailac oxide. Only the inside walls. My camera went down again. So as you see me do here, I'm covering the inner walls with Nailac oxide. Now with PVA glue, I'm sticking down some printed hazard stripes on the door entrances and on some pipes. And I'm happy with how this room looks. Now, as you can see, this is also a two-walled room. But I'm gonna do the same for my 4 walls, 3 walls. Basically for all my tiles. And I'm painting the wooden blocks black, and I'm gonna dot them with green paint to represent some sort of computer text on it. Also the Nailac oxide against my walls, painting my pipes and all that. Just stippling on some green. Rust on the back of the walls, and when that is done, I'm gonna paint my doors. Painted them black and stipple on red bone. When that is done, I'm gonna stipple on some brown paint on the sides, like you can see me do here. Now the brown represents some wear and tear and rust. Now as you see, I'm quickly drawing and sketching in the lines that I've cut with the X-Acto knife, which means that you don't have to score it, you can just draw it in. And here we can see a working door. ready to encounter these gene stealers. Now here is a view of the finished piece. Not all my tiles, but a good few, as I made 38 tiles in total. But here you can see my kill team board, my Space Hulk kill team board, and you can set it up whichever way you want. Now I'm removing this part, putting in a block. You can also paint these blocks, by the way, but I'm keeping them black. Now here you can see I'm creating an elevation. So removing this, the stairs. By the way, if you want to know how I'm going to make, how I made these stairs, these ones, just check out my Necromunda stairs video. It's episode 5. And yeah, you can create interesting boards with this. So thank you all very much for watching, guys, and all the support and your patience. I know I haven't been uploading as much as I used to, but yeah, this project really took a long time, and also the kids are back at school, and yeah, but I have a lot more things on the way. I'm also doing 2 crafting challenges this month as well, so if you're interested, stick around for that. And more battle reports will come as well. So thank you all again for all your patience and all your support. It really means a lot, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. All right, bye for now, guys. Bye.